Rated Rookie here. Gonna do a quick recap of the Burbank Card Show from this past weekend. Simply put, it was one of the most fun hobby experiences I've had this side of the National. Such a blast hosting Mike and Andy here in LA and going out to the show in Ontario. The first day we got there, I had 3 pickups that day. Started off with this Pedro Martinez 1996 silver signature, nice clean auto. So the gem 10 on that is for the card. I think the auto would probably grade a 10. Let me know what you think there. But just a really nice card. Loved him on the Dodgers, wish we had kept him. Speaking of the Dodgers, this is a Pop 2 and a gem, 1998 Flair Showcase, row 0. And these are at a 250 here on the back. So B-Roth once sent me one of those. That's actually at PSA, but really happy to land the gem there. And then a card that, frankly, I've been hunting for years. It's been at the top of my list, and thanks to some friends and some planning, we're finally able to make a deal. The dealer started out really high on this, and we slowly whittled him down to what we thought was a fair price. But just a magnificent card. Wanted a low-grade mantle, ideally a 1 or 1.5 was in my range, and just wanted something that had decent centering. Ideally the print line's not so much over his face, and that presented pretty well. So couldn't be happier with this one. Got the typical staining here on the back, and just really an all-time card. So this shot to the top of my PC in terms of my top 100, and just couldn't be happier. So thanks, Mike and Andy, and Cesar was there, and geez, Mikey. Later met up with my friend Alex. So it's definitely a team effort, and super helpful to have 10 eyes on this, getting people's thoughts. Thanks, Dave, also for your thoughts. But really happy that I finally was able to add this one. So super grateful and appreciative. So that was the end of day 1. Day 2 was really busy too. So started off with this Griffey. Didn't have a Griffey auto in the collection, and wanted something that he was ideally playing days and on the Mariners, right? So this kind of reminds me of his sweet swing. Loved the blue auto, really bold, and PSA 9's right up my alley. So chirography, I think is how you say it, but it's the hardest word ever to say. And really cool 90s card. So happy to add to the best players I watched growing up in their autos. Next up, this was a trade. I got this rookie refractor of C-Web in exchange for a couple of Ohtani Chrome updates and a little cash, so was happy to work a deal there. Had the Penny and the Jordan, so really wanted to eventually add this Weber. The pop on the gems is 12, so you could never really get a 10. It's just astronomical unless you're a huge Weber collector. So I'd been hunting for a clean 9, and this fit the bill. Speaking of deals, number 1 deal I wanted to make was I had a J-Rod Sapphire gem that I posted on my Instagram, and wanted to turn that into a card that I'd ideally been hunting for a while, and went over to Mike, MC Sports, and was able to strike a deal with that. So it was the J-Rod Sapphire plus $150, and got the Giannis Prism Silver Select. So nice shine on this. 2-time MVP, 1-time champ. I like J-Rod. I think he will probably have a great career, but there's a lot of his stuff out there. There's going to be more and more gems coming back. I thought it was probably an 8 or a 9 in a 10 holder, to be honest with you. And to turn that into a card I've always wanted, or wanted for several years now, I was happy to make that deal. And speaking of deals, this card had caught my eye. We went over to the dealer. He had it priced at $150. I was there with Mike and Andy, and apparently he watched Mike's channel a lot, and he said, "Oh, you're friends with Mike. I'll give that to you for $100 since you're buddies with Mike." I was like, "All right, sounds good, man." It's not a gem card. There's a little bit of a crease in here, but to get a Montana gem auto, really nice for $100. Congrats to the Chiefs. They just pulled off the Super Bowl comeback on Sunday. And then that same dealer added this card, was also really fair with me. And so last pick of the show, KD was just traded to the Suns, wanted to add a card of his, and always liked the finest refractors. So really nice 9 there. So a really active show. Obviously the mantle was the centerpiece, but happy to add these other ones and make some trades, so I could kind of build out the PC without, outlaying more cash. Then Mike and Andy came back to our place. We checked out LA, showed them all the sites. They had a great time with my family. And then late night, we just started going through some of my vintage boxes. And Mike had mentioned that there's currently a PSA special that they're running for pre-1989 cards. So these are the cards we kind of picked out to send over to PSA. A lot of these were my dad's growing up, so they hold sentimental value. Cool Yankees team card. Mike mentioned that the Cots are now worth grading. Little Eddie Matthews and K-Line. This was a fun one. Duke Snyder. On the fence on whether to send this. It's obviously off center, top to bottom. Probably hoping for an 8 there. And then a few more of the 59. So really fun weekend. Great meeting up with a lot of YouTubers. And can't wait for the next one. I hear it's going to be in Anaheim. Take care, guys. Have a good one.